And we're live. Welcome back, Mike. Week 8, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 8. Back at it again.
You were severely missed from the masses that watch this show. I'd like to begin this episode apologizing to our most improved GM from 2019. That's Ryan Hannigan. I had a pretty bad tangent last week on Second Take, and I missed the depth of the pickup. And I just want to start here with I'm sorry. And it was envy. It was envy. I'm upset that I wasn't able to pick up a quarterback. It didn't really matter, though. I took the L anyway. Derek Carr scored plenty of points. Just wasn't enough. But that's where I wanted to start, Mike. Shout out. But let's get into these power rankings. Well, yeah. Before we do that, let's segue into the power rankings. So, speaking of Ryan Hannigan, our most improved GM is leading the pack at 6-1. He is the best GM in the league right now. Clearly, spoiler alert, number 1 in the power rankings. 4 other teams are 4-3. 5 other teams are 3-4. Believe it or not, though, Xavier has not. He is tied the worst 0-7. This is the worst start we've ever seen in fantasy for the Sandusky Boy League. But a stretch of 0-7 is held by one other person, and that is you, Mike, in 2019 last year. Which makes you lost 7 straight. I went back and watched.
I was not 0-7 though. What are you talking about?
I didn't say you're 0-7. I said you had this is not the worst stretch we've seen. It's the worst start we've ever seen, period, in our league, 0-7. But I'm saying you lost 7 straight in 2019. You've had a skid just as bad as Xavier's.
Oh, when it didn't matter, when it
didn't matter weeks.
Wait. So are you also considering to the fact that the Fulford Trophy, does that count as a loss for that?
No. This was from week 6 through 12.
Week 6 through 12. All right. Well, I guess I'm not prepared for this. I didn't know this was gonna be said. But
what do you mean yourself? I mean, you put up. I got the points on here. You put up more points than.
I mean, you're doing your best. Look, man. I'm not blaming you. You're trying your best right now to make Xavier feel better, and I totally understand where you're coming from. This man is hurting right now. He's hurting in every way, in every shape possible. Mentioning other records from past years, I'll be honest with you, is not going to make him feel better. It's just going to make him feel worse. He's 0-7. And it's not his fault. I mean, Xavier, it's not your fault, bro. Like, honestly, when you made that huge trade and the guy went on IR within the first 2 quarters of that game, I knew that's when you should have known, and that it was just not going to be your year. And then now you got Kenny and Drake who went on IR. It's just like, I don't know if he's on IR. I know he got hurt, but I'm not sure if he's on IR. But I think it's just not looking good for you. It's just not looking good for you, Xavier. And that happens. I mean, you've had such a long sustained period of success, and the luck is not going your way at all this year. But I think next year, have another solid draft, and the luck will go your way. I guarantee it. And as far as Ryan Hannigan goes, I disrespected him also 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you remember this. In my video, I disrespected him while I was with Danny. We put you ahead of him, Tyler. We put you ahead of him. I think we put him in the power ranking at 6, despite he had a 4-1 record. I think we put him in the power ranking at 5 or 6, and we put 2 people that had 3-2 records above him because Hannigan, you had the what was it, like 10th amount of points scored, 10th in the league and points scored, and I was like, yeah, this guy's kind of getting away with it. He got the least points scored against him, and he's not scoring that many points. Lo and behold, back-to-back weeks of 150. Or plus 150 plus. It's just ridiculous. And you're shutting this up really quickly. Downs mentioned it in the group me. Can't be disrespecting these Ryans, and you can't. Which is going to definitely segue into our power rankings here. At 1, we have Ryan Hannigan.
Can you name 3 players on his team, Mike?
He's got Tyler Boyd.
That's who you lead with. I love it. I love it.
DJ Chark.
We still don't respect Hannigan. We can't name 3 players on his team. No,
what are you talking about? I can name 5 players on his team right now.
Oh, as you got it loaded up, as you're looking at the screen, folks.
Dude, come on. Man. All right. The only reason I can name 5 players on his team, I was trying to make a trade with him. So I've been looking at on his team the whole time. But Tyler Boyd is killing it. Deshaun Watson is killing it. Your receivers are killing it.
DeAndre Swift.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I thought would drop a little bit in value. Still had a great game. He had a great draft, man. He had a great draft.
Tied for I believe he's up there in the rushing. He's top 5 in rushing. I saw that on the IG today. No, shout out Ryan Hannigan. We said he had a pedestrian draft. We thought he was middle of the pack. We thought he'd make the playoffs. We didn't think he was going to be horrendous, like maybe a Matt or even a Mikey, where we thought they were our Danny, where we thought like their draft wasn't that strong. I think we poo-pooed on Nate's as well, but Hannigan is doing the right things. He's being active in the waivers. I think he has a good shot as anybody to finish high. At least I think at this point 6-1. It had to take a catastrophic injury or something to his team or a big blow for him not to get a first round bye here in week 13 at 6-1.
You're thinking nailed on for a division title here, division championship.
Well, I don't know about division championship. I just know week 13 bye.
Yeah, because we got the next person here who is in the same division who also wants that is eyeing that same championship here.
At 2.
The division crown at 2. We got Ryan Downs. Back-to-back Ryans here who are fighting in the same division, thankfully. Thankfully, they're not in our division, but thankfully, Ryan
Downs' division is really strong.
It is. My question to you, Tyler, is have you ever seen the most quietest 55-point game out of a player?
No, I can't say I have.
Did you know? Yeah. Did you know that he had 55 points?
Speaking of no, I did not know. First of all, I did not know he had 55 points. The gambling, I wanted to bet on Tyler Lockett to be a first touchdown scored for the game. Tyler Lockett, as you've seen this year, remember we were talking about him in the beginning where he was getting 3 touchdowns in a game, just all types of crazy stuff. Ryan had that streak where he had multiple players just scoring multiple times for his team, which got off to a good start. And it came back again with Tyler Lockett, like you said. He's got big players on his squad. That was without Aaron Jones last week. Cooper Kupp's looking at least 15, 14. I like his team. And then Josh Allen was in the MVP race for a second. He's kind of that's kind of fallen off as of late. He's played some tougher defenses or just hasn't been as good. But I think both these guys guaranteed, unless something catastrophic happens, like I said, first round buys. I love their squads. Envy some of their players. I think they have the best shot out of anybody at a title.
Yeah, 55 in a week is insane. I think you'll never. I don't know if you'll see that score again this year. I don't know if you'll see a score of 55 again this year. Even Devontae Adams, who had an amazing game. Was it last week or this week? I'm not even sure anymore. Whenever the Packers played.
No, it's funny you bring that up. So let's just roll back a couple years. 2019 in week 5, our highest points scored was the Will Fuller game. I don't know if you remember, 54.7. 2018, 51.7 out of Amari Cooper in week 14. That's championship week. That's amazing. Week 12, Julio Jones had 52.8. That is in 2017. And then we'll go back one more just for fun. 2016, Lev Bell, 49.8, who is now a Kansas City Chief, and you traded him away. But 55 is the highest we've ever seen in our league. So shout it out, and shout out to Ryan Downs.
Jesus. Yeah, you can tell Danny wasn't happy to see that. He wanted to see some of that go towards DK Metcalf's way.
What a tackle by DK, though, huh? Did you see? I know you've seen that. That's all over the Twitter.
Of course, it's all over, yeah. But it's funny because the week before he had that crazy. No, maybe 2 weeks before he had that crazy touchdown that he could have just walked it in.
Yeah,
and he was walking it in and he ended up getting it fumbled. you fast forward 2 weeks, now he's making a touchdown saving tackle out of the blue. Dude, he was so fast on that run.
Buda Baker is not slow either. Like that's amazing. Next gen will be all over that. Yeah, but shout them out. Both Ryans leading the way 1 and 2, respective for Mamba 8 division. But let's go to somebody who's in the Mama 24 division at 3. My opponent this week, Devin.
Yes,
Bad
sir.
News Bears is 5 and 3 on the year. We spoke about they trade with Xavier earlier. He inherited he inherited Joe Mixon out of that trade. Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders for him this week are questionable. It is a little scary for him because I'm looking at the rest of his roster, and I mean these backup running backs. I mean you got Justin Jackson and the Gaskin out of Miami. I don't. It's not boding well for week 3 here, but being at 5 and 2, you can afford now.
Yeah. You said 5 and 3 though. Did you hear yourself say that in the beginning?
Yeah, I'm trying to will it. You could tell it's bad. My fault, Devin. 5 and 2. Put some respect on it. It ain't L yet. Any given Sunday.
Just because he's playing you this week does not mean it's gonna be an L. No, he's got a great team. He's got some injuries right now, but I mean he'll be fine as soon as. And Robbie Anderson, what a pickup! I don't think
a draft pick. What a draft pick, Robbie Anderson.
Was it a draft pick?
I promise you. I had to look it up, but there's no way he did not draft him. I'm pretty sure. Devin is one of the best in this league at drafts. Veteran. That's what he does. He knows where to find players late, and I imagine that was a late pick after 10th round if I had to put money on it.
All right. Yeah. Great pick and looking good. I mean,
shout him out, leading the Mama 24 division, Devin.
Yep.
At 4, up 2 spots. Big win over me last week, Dave.
Yep. Huge win. Was 1 and 3 to start the year, and has won 2 straight. So you love to see it. And Dave, man, your team's starting to look good again. No, what am I saying? He won 3 straight. He was 1 and 3 to start the year, and he won 3 straight. Now he's 4 and 3. Wow, that's amazing.
Ronald Jones looked real good, and I'm kind of like missing him. But I think Leonard Fournette had some big runs in that game too. I think it might be a 2-headed back system, something similar to Cleveland, where they're both going to get it. Tampa Bay is an explosive offense. I still think that trade is, pretty fair down the line. I think both teams are benefiting. It's just it didn't flow my way that week, But Dave's team is really solid. Looks like he's rolling with Burrow this week. We can get into that a little bit later, but he's got some studs. He's got the number 3 tight end on the year in Darren Waller, and the number 7, I guess, tied with Robbie Anderson, number 7, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, which is amazing. Still has Julio Jones once he gets fully healthy, and Kareem Hunt. That value went up, skyrocketed when Nick Chubb went on IR. So
he said he'd be a top 10 running back if Chubb wasn't there, right? I think we spoke on that on draft day. No, I like Dave's team, like you said. It's fantastic. Let's move forward though. At 5, Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg still doing well without his number 1 pick, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, Mike Davis has looked amazing, but
he didn't have a big week last week. But you're right. As of a total sample size, Mike Davis, they're saying that Mike Davis is still going to get some work even when McCaffrey comes back, which as he should. I mean, I give that guy at least 10 carries or at least 10 to 12 touches. No matter what, that guy's amazing. I'm not familiar. Is this the same Mike Davis who was a former Bear? Pretty sure he was.
He was a former Bear.
Wouldn't surprise me. I don't want to get started on that Monday night game. We don't even talk about it.
He got paid though. He was paid with the Bears. They were paying him.
You see the talent?
Yeah, well, he had a really good contract. I don't know if you remember this, but he had a really good contract before they let him go.
Yeah. But back to Nate though. Allen Robinson concussion protocol for the Monday night game. That's not looking good for this week for him.
Yeah, but I mean, last week what a win, huh? You won by 0.46.
0.46 over Piani. It's got to feel good.
I believe that is the slimmest margin to win by this year.
This year, no doubt. I think we've seen 0.12 or 0.10 or something once, but 0.46 that hurts, man. And that comes down to a start somewhere. A start made a difference in that matchup, and that's probably for both sides. You feel for Piani. We'll get to him a little bit later. Obviously, in the power rankings losing, but I like Nate's team. James Conner has been good. He's getting carries. He had 20 carries last week. That was a little rocky to start the year, but as of week 8, that's an RB1, right?
Mm-hmm.
14 man, that's an RB1. So Nate's gonna try to stay here for as long as he can. He's got to get through these injuries. I mean, Latavius Murray in his flex starting. That's not a good look.
Yeah, Greg Olsen either, but
It's
I mean,
gonna take some work.
carrying the load.
Yeah. Okay. Moving forward, up 2 spots in the power rankings, we have our champ, Joe. Joe's season's been kind of good, to be honest. He changed his team name to Woke Joe, so clearly he's all in. Starting, and by all in, I mean he's starting Ryan Tannehill this week. That's who's in his starting lineup at quarterback. Devonta Freeman was a decent pickup for the Giants. I mean, in a PPR league, I think that guy warrants at least 10 to 12 points a week, which is a startable running back. He doesn't have bangers at running back. He went heavy at receiver. And like you said, Devontae Adams went off 1 week for him. Chris Godwin also went off a week for him. It's just he can't get these guys healthy at the same time. It's kind of a syndrome you've had before in fantasy, Mike. I remember you had 2 stud running backs, could not get them on the field at the same time. And that hurts when you draft like that, especially 2 early picks.
Wait. So first of all, did Chris Godwin get hurt again? Is that what happened?
Yes.
What the hell? What happened? Wow, what did I miss? But no, I know you mentioned Devontae Freeman. He's actually having a whole season.
No, he's respectable for at least 10 to 12 points is what I'm saying. I mean, that whole line is horrendous, but I think as a waiver wire pickup, that's an RB2 in a 14-man. And then going back to Chris Godwin, we got a fractured finger here. He's going to miss a game at least. He's getting surgery on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Devontae looked really good. That's what you can console in, and
CeeDee Lamb's been real.
Yeah.
He's got depth, but it's a champ. It's a champ. He's always going to compete. There's no doubt about it. I don't see him not making the playoffs.
Yeah, still 4-3, which is a great record.
With all these injuries.
All these injuries, man.
And we know the curse for a champ is real. It comes heavy. Let's move forward, though. At 7, down 3 spots, said he would never fall this low. Jesse Dowd. Who took it out of you, Mike? You want to shout yourself out real quick before we get to you? I feel like we should put some respect on your name. You're a little low here, but you upset Jesse last week, and in a big way.
Yeah, exactly. Excited about it. Of course, like super, super happy about it. I gave him a phone call on Monday. I didn't want to call him on Sunday. I feel like that was disrespectful.
Yeah, it's a little early.
Yeah.
Would you scream Herbert's name?
No, I was just like, saying that GG's basically
you got lucky.
But he was pissed. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear at all. He didn't want to hear my voice at all. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know what happened. I got a little lucky here. To be honest, I thought it was over at some point. I mean, when Melvin Gordon had those 2 fumbles, but Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen just decided to show up.
And so did Christian Kirk.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at Jesse's team, it's fine. I'm worried about Ezekiel Elliott. That's 2 weeks in a row he's had bad numbers, like really.
You're worried about Dallas Cowboys in general. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, put up 3 points. That's scary.
Yeah, anyone on that Cowboys offense is not looking good because their defense is awful, but now their offense looks really bad too. And they've. I mean, to be fair to them, let's give them a little love here. Dallas has lost all 5 of their offensive linemen. Their starting offensive linemen, and yeah, I mean it's tough, but I mean I think Jesse's a great fantasy player. He'll bounce back.
Can I say something?
Go for it.
I took DJ Moore over Calvin Ridley in the 4th round.
Yeah, a lot of people took people over Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's having.
Just want to say that I made a mistake, and shout out Jesse and his drafting prowess. It's unbelievable what this guy's capable of in the draft. He said he didn't really practice. He didn't really do much research this year. He pulled a mic and kind of went in there with his gut, and he still finds these gems, man. I don't get it. But at 7, he doesn't like to hear it, but You take it out of Mike, and give Mike life, you're gonna fall. When you're favored to win that big, you were not a favorite there, Mike. So shout out to you, and we'll get to you a little bit later. But at 8, we have the runner-up from last year, Mikey.
Yeah, surprising that he's
this high.
Yeah, no, that he's at 8 because he scored so many points this year so far.
Yeah, it's just hard to put him over certain guys who have the wins. I count wins as getting it done. But you're right. It's unfortunate. He's had a lot of points scored against him, but shout this guy out. You were shouting him out on the group me the other day about these pickups, and James Robinson has been outstanding for him.
Oh, amazing. This guy finds every year.
Waiver wire pickup of the year, you say, and I think we'll see that reflect in end of the year voting. No doubt, might be the waiver wire pickup of the year.
As always, doesn't he always get the waiver wire pickup of the year?
Last year was Chark by Ryan.
Yeah, by Hannigan. Yeah, but I think he had D'Angelo Williams a couple years ago when he won the league, who did amazing for him. This guy always finds great running backs. Yeah, Philip Lindsay his first year.
Yeah, when he actually broke out. Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, this guy always gets him. So, congrats to Mikey. Dude, that combination of Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins is gorgeous. It's amazing.
Especially we can sprinkle that tight end combo in as well. I mean, he's lacking running backs, and like you said, he found one, and it's paying dividends, and he's gonna look good the rest of the year. He's gonna probably exceed my expectation for him, which I said 3 wins. But time will tell. He has a nasty bye week this week, and I know he's hurting and he's looking for help anywhere he can get it. But let's move on to 9 because this is tragic, and I hate to say it because I feel like me and Dave flipped spots. Down 3. I have myself, and I think Mike agrees with this and has me here as well.
Yeah, you had a tough loss though, man. That Monday night, especially watching the Bears struggle offensively, and then going up against that defense, the Rams defense.
No garbage time. Nick Foles looked horrible. I mean, we can get into the game.
And then
it's not
people are calling for Nagy's head, despite being 5-2. People are calling for Nagy's head.
And as they should. The play calling, Mike, I don't know if you watched a Monday night game. You really shouldn't have. You had no interest, but
yeah. No, the end around. I heard about the end around on 4th and 1.
It was the crack toss to Cordell Patterson on 4th and 1. I get it. The O-line's hurt. I don't know if you saw in the group me. I put Nagy's an idiot. That was right after that play call. It's just like, what are you doing? What are we like, we don't need to run Cordell Patterson 7 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, run some wildcat, flex him out, do some stuff. He does not need to line up in the backfield. It clearly isn't working. I wonder what his average is per carry because it should be higher. I mean, you got like guys much younger, but like Ayuk over in San Fran, who's doing crazy stuff and busting out big runs. Like that's the type of stuff you can do that with. But we're not a running team. Nowhere close to a running team. I mean, I don't want to get into a Chicago tangent here and talk about the Bears. Because they are who we thought they were, and they got the Saints this week, and it's like in my opinion, the defense did their job for a long time, and then they kind of just gave up because like, well, the offense ain't going to do nothing. And this has been the Bears story for.
Wasn't the touchdown a defensive touchdown too?
No.
The fumble recovery, I heard. Oh, that was a offensive fumble recovery. Is that what it was?
It's horrendous, man. Nick Foles threw a pick right in the end zone. It was Jay Cutler-esque to say, but at least Jay would keep us in games. I talk with Downs about it directly, and it's sad because you get so hyped up for your team and expectations, and the Bears. When do they deliver on Monday night? On a primetime game. We watched them open the season against the Green Bay Packers 2 years ago for the 100-year season, right? Or was that last year? Whatever. I want to forget about it so bad and dominate like they should, and then they blow it. It's just we don't know how to act on primetime games. So,
I disagree.
You disagree? You can name a couple times they
just beat Tampa Bay, who looks amazing. They beat Tampa Bay on Thursday night. That's a primetime game.
It wasn't amazing though. They could lose that game.
What do you mean? They made Tom Brady see stars. Like they literally made Tom Brady see, like, say, 4th down.
They gave him a drive, and that's another bad Nagy play call where he wanted to pass the ball on 2nd down where he could run the clock out, and he gave this guy over a minute and 7 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. It's just it's getting old, Mike. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's bad play calling. Just give the play calling up, bro. You can't do it. Get somebody else in there who can. That's my biggest problem. And it's like, and I'm sick of all the blame on Mitch because like this ain't Mitch's fault, in my opinion. It's on the coaching. And Nagy doesn't want to dumb the playbook down. I understand that. That's fine. But you got locker room and media talk where Nick Foles is saying he doesn't agree with play calls either. And there's video footage of Mitch with a mic in his ear in the game, and he heard the call, and he goes, "Are you kidding me?" And like he didn't believe it. So I don't know if he's got blindfold on when he's calling these plays, but I don't see it, man. He called plays for Andy Reid 1 year, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to defend Nagy, but I mean, there's a lot of struggles on the offensive side. I think it's the O-line as well, and then your receivers are dropping balls. Too many receivers are dropping too many balls here.
True that.
It's like really bad. But I mean, you lost a playmaker in Tariq Cohen. I think had you just gone in for another running back, a more veteran type running back,
sure,
run it on 4th and 1, like then you would trust. You don't because right now he looks like he lacks faith in David Montgomery. And it's like
absolutely. And shout out to Heckler, man. What a punter.
Oh, dude, that guy's
a Hall of Famer, no doubt. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Amazing,
but yeah, amazing. We got on a tangent. I didn't want to go here, but we went here, and we'll see how it goes. They're playing the Saints. We'll see. But my team, man, I like my team. I like my squad. Though I'm 3-4, did not expect to be here. I've lost 3 straight. I'm on a bad skid. Couple bad losses. 1 to Danny, 1 to Dave. If I bench James White last week and I start, my guy, maybe I win. Same goes for Dave, though. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Dave had a bad start, too. He starts Joe Burrow. He gets an extra 18 points or whatever. So it's all right. We'll move forward. You lick your wounds. You learn from it. Luckily, my guy Devin has some players on who are questionable. So maybe they'll roll my way. I'll be honest. I'm that type of GM. I hope they don't play. Let's go, because I got Boston Scott in the second RB slot. Let's go. Let's get him in the lineup. Let's get 18 out of him.
Yeah, I don't know how you're feeling right now, because I mean you started off 3-1. You had a 3-game skid right now.
And my 1 L was a Danny, and it shouldn't have been an L. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you are on a 3.
It really felt like 4-0. But no, I feel you. It's all right. We'll bounce back. I've been here before. I know how it feels. Let's move forward, though. The Bears sideline us there at 10.
Okay.
Chris Piani, tough L, tougher than the one I had, no doubt. 0.46.
Easily.
He seems like he's in high spirits, though. He was talking about trading with me. He's interested in Hunter Henry and Alvin Kamara. I mean, how could you not be? Those are two top tier players. But you're right. He's starting Tom Brady now, it looks like, and his team is good. You shouted his team out a couple weeks ago, and the trade with you. I mean, Led's going to get his work in eventually, right? We're thinking RB2 status at some point, and Derrick Henry is a god.
All right,
he's on our draft.
I agree. And then, despite the terrible performance by Chase Claypool last game, I think he'll bounce back. I think he'll have a great game this week. It's just crazy. It's he didn't have his 2 starting receivers, Thielen and Justin Jefferson, who are on the same team, which is hilarious. But didn't have him last week. Almost won, lost by 0.46. But you got him this week. I think his team's amazing. And Tom Brady, man.
Yeah.
Back to
New
back.
England was bad, right? New England, you should have paid him.
Yeah, the Patriots. Yeah, I mean, well, give him weapons. Like, I think you should just give him weapons, because you look at Cam right now. Cam looks like he's struggling too. So I don't know.
I think anybody would have struggled in that situation. I agree. And he's also really high on Justin Jefferson, as he should be. I mean, that guy's been a stud throughout the year. But I like Piani, and I don't foresee him staying at 10. Right? He'll move up.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't see him staying at 10 either.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep powering through here at 11. Now, these are the bottom 4 guys. As if the playoffs started today, these guys will be missing the playoffs, which I don't know if I really believe this, Mike. You're at 11. I think you have a good shot. I like your squad.
Thank you. Yes. I'm just, it's funny because I thought Cam and Julian Edelman would take me to the promised land, and they're on the bench, and they've combined for a total of 1 point. My quarterback and my wide receiver combined for a total of 1 point last week.
Those were high draft picks. Well, I'm sorry. No, they weren't. Excuse me.
Oh, they were lower draft picks, but yeah. But that being said, they're on my bench, so it's all good. And I got a huge win over Jesse, which I needed. And who knows, man? Maybe I can beat the #1 Hannigan this week. I'm really excited. We'll see. I mean, the jury's out on T.Y. Hilton. We'll see about that DUI on Melvin Gordon. But for the most part, despite getting that ACL tear to Saquon, the team's looking okay. Darrell Henderson looks like he's kind of stole that role for the Rams, and I'm cool with that. Like, I'll start him. Like, I got Cam Akers on the bench. If for some reason they decide to roll with the rookie, I got the rookie. It's all good. It's all gravy, as they say. And I'm just excited for this upcoming week.
I like your squad, man, and I foresee Herbert just getting the ball and getting all the action here late. So they'll be in games. They'll be throwing the ball.
Sunshine, baby, sunshine.
Maybe you may have to change this team name because I don't know if T-shirt Mike's for real.
I'll keep it. I'll keep the T-shirt Mike right now because there's always a possibility with me that I could get the T-shirt, but we'll see. Maybe
at least be featured on the T-shirt. Your name is you've been on I think 3 of those already. Just some way somehow. Four, like you've been on one side of them in some way. You know what I mean? Whether you earned it or you just whooped that ass, I don't know. But okay, let's move on to 12. Round it out here. Sierra's real baby daddy, Danny Urconi.
Yeah.
Let Russ cook, right? At number 2, we'll lead there. That's the best player on his team. That guy's been balling. And I believe Russ was a bit of a discount, maybe 5th or 6th round. I don't have the notes in front of me on it, but I remember he was not the first quarterback off the board, nor the second. And I don't think he was the 3rd quarterback off the board. So shout him out. We know Danny's weakness. We say it every week. It's running back. Jerick McKinnon is going to get a lot of work this week with the news. Mostert's out. Jeff Wilson out. It's Jermichael Hasty, which is on Dave's team. Shout him out, and who picked up last week. And Jermichael, Jerick McKinnon. Those guys. So maybe he can find a little luck there at running back. And Leonard Fournette, I think he's going to start getting more work, man. It's just this is the problem. No Michael Thomas. It's week 8. No Michael Thomas. That's a high value draft pick, bro.
What is going on? I think there might be something else going on here. I think there's I think people are not realizing that there could be a conspiracy going on here.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot of tension between him and Breeze about what Breeze started with the whole anti, movement that we had, again, like he wasn't in favor
of the Black Lives Matter movement.
The Black Lives Matter movement. Exactly.
Ignorant comments.
Right. He made ignorant comments and just the wrong comments and came back on him and apologized. But, that's not, how you feel if you make those comments.
For real.
So I think you're right. And Hannigan said it best in the group meeting. He's like, is he getting traded or what? Like, I got him in my Yahoo league, man. I feel him. I took him also in the 1st round. So
yeah,
it's important because where would Danny be if he had Mike Thomas? I mean, that's at least 20 points a week,
But at the end of the day, we're still saying the same thing, though. We're saying that he has troubles at running back, not receiver.
Well, he might now have troubles at receiver, losing Odell Beckham Jr. for the whole year with an ACL.
Yeah, ACL, dude, that's huge. And when you're seeing Russell Cook on Sunday night, you're feeling so happy, but then he's throwing it to the guy you're playing against, who's Tyler Lockett, who drops 55 on you, and none of it goes towards DK Metcalf, and you're just hating yourself, So,
yeah, I mean, that takes the sting off a little bit because Russ is getting his, but like you said, it's quarterbacks. You need the other quarterback's going to do well too. So yeah, Danny at 12. It's unfortunate. I think he'd be in a different place if he had Mike Thomas the whole year. But say what you will, we'll see how it finishes out for him. We still got another
or at least for like trade value. You could at least trade Michael Thomas. Same thing I think of with Saquon. I mean, maybe Saquon wouldn't have dropped 15 every game. Maybe he would have dropped like 10 every game. Like not even that great. But it's still worth trade value, Michael Thomas is still worth trade value.
You trade for the name, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, somebody like Zeke still holds trade value, even though the Dallas Cowboys are terrible. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right. But let's finish.
Rather be healthy.
Yeah, when they're healthy. Yeah, exactly. At 13, though, we have Danger Matt.
Yeah.
2 and 4.
Yeah. No.
Out.
Is he 2 and 4? Are you sure?
2 and 5, baby. 2 and 5.
Yeah.
It's week 8.
Yeah.
He's got some question marks in his lineup, man. I don't think Chris Carson's playing. Deebo Samuel had another injury. Picked up Richard Rodgers, which plays for Philadelphia Eagles, so he's taking advantage of Dallas Goedert being out, and I believe Zach Ertz was out as well last week. That Eagles team always has a bundle of injuries. It's terrible. But no Scary Terry for him last week, and I believe he left him in his bench last week as well. This week, no Scary Terry. Last week, he didn't even start him, put up 22 for him. You know, Matt's kind of beating himself here.
Yeah, made a huge trade though.
Oh, we didn't even lead with that trade. Good call. Up here. Matt sent Jonathan Taylor, which remember I was hawking on this last week, especially in last week's video. I said this guy needs to make a trade. He has 3 running backs that he doesn't really need to start all of them, and he needs help a receiver. So what does he do? He sends Jonathan Taylor and Deontay Johnson to his brother for Antonio Gibson and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown has been on a tear lately. Back-to-back weeks of 20 points. I think this is a fair trade, and I kind of like Matt's side receiving Antonio Gibson and A.J. Brown. I think Antonio Gibson's going to get a lot of work towards the end of the year.
Did you see his last game? It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing game. 100 and something yards.
Touchdown.
Yeah, dude. Touchdown. Antonio Gibson had a game, dude.
So, Matt, this move may propel him to a higher standard in the league and get him up higher on these power rankings and maybe even compete for the Sandusky Trophy.
Yeah. Would you go as far as to say that this game is a must-win for Matt?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I would. We'll get into that, though. All right, and then last but not least, we spoke on it earlier. We don't really talk about his team 0-7. You kind of got detailed in the week. It sucks, man. You hate to see it, and hopefully he can get. You don't want to go over. You can't afford to go over. It would hurt your pride. It would not do well for you, Xavier. But that's what I love about Xavier. The fire is always there. He's gonna battle it out. He's gonna get a win, and it may come just this week. But last week, Mike, shout out to you. You were 6 for 7 on these results. You got it right, all except for Danny's matchup. You took Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And he played Ryan Downs. So you bet against Ryan Downs. The disrespect is real. We'll see how that goes this week. I was 4 for 7. On the year, I'm 31 for 49. And Mike is 26 for 49. So, Mike, that was a big win for you. You cut a lot right there. Almost went 7 for 7. I don't think it's ever been done in our league. But, yeah, that's the power rankings. That was a little bit long-winded, but let's get into it. Waiver Wired. All right, you know what? Nah, let's have a little fun, Mike. Let's do the who he played for. Let's get it started. These are these players. I'm going to put Mike on 30-second timer here so we're not sitting here for 10 minutes. Who he played for. Feel free to play along with us. Mike, these are guys, mainly receivers and tight ends. No running backs here. I'll give you that hint right off the bat. Multiple TD scores. And I'm going to start with Jalen Guyton. You're on the clock. 30 seconds.
Well, he obviously plays for my Los Angeles Chargers.
Yes, this was a gimme. And, Mike, I was going to be honest with you here. Correct. Bing, 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 bing. If you didn't get this right, I was going to be like, this is not looking good for you as a Chargers fan. You should know. I know who Wims is. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of these guys on my team. But, yes, he is a Los Angeles Charger. Shout out to you. Let's move forward here.
Big touchdown, too.
Big touchdown. This guy, I think he was picked up in our league.
Really?
Or maybe not in our league. I might be thinking of the Yahoo League. But let's move forward here. My second option here is Dontel Inman, which is a player who's been named before, I believe, on this segment. He scored 2 touchdowns on the year. Dontel Inman.
Dontrell. Yeah, Dontrell.
Is it Dontrell? I thought it was Dontel.
Yeah, this is Dontrell, I think.
And you are familiar.
He's also a former Charger. Where did he go? I think he might have went to I'm stuck between Washington and Cincinnati. I'm gonna go Washington. Did he go to Washington?
This guy is 2 for 2. Went to Washington. Congratulations, Mike. That was a tough one. Dontrell Inman, former Charger. You were absolutely right. He scored 2 touchdowns on the year for the Washington football team. All right. This guy was just picked up in our league. Nelson Aguilar, who scored 4 touchdowns on the year. I believe he had 2 last week.
Yeah, this one's easy. He had an amazing. I was watching Red Zone last week, so he just had an amazing game. He's on the Oakland. Oh no, Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. Absolutely correct. Shout you out. And then last but not least, these have been kind of you're knocking these out, and I had a couple hard ones in there. I'm impressed. Tyler Croft.
Oh, Tyler Croft.
Tyler Croft. Can you name the position he plays for?
Oh, he's a tight end, no?
He's a tight end. Absolutely correct. He scored 2 touchdowns in the year.
2 touchdowns.
He's a free agent in our league.
You know what? You probably like someone that I like don't even know a tight end for. I'm guessing like maybe the Bills or like hold on one sec. Bills or it's definitely not it's definitely not Pittsburgh. It's gotta be like I'm gonna say the Bills. Final answer.
You going Buffalo Bills?
Buffalo Bills.
No one.
What?
So what's the line for the no one circles? Oh man, it's bad. I should know this. No one circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. Yes, you got it right. Ding, ding, ding. 4 for 4, Mike. Where's this guy? This guy got it right. 4 for 4 on who he played for. I wonder if anybody else got it right in the league. Shout you out, Mike. I don't think that's ever been done before.
Wow.
And it's not like these were easy.
No, they were not.
These were some tough ones. Congratulations. This guy watches Red Zone. I will tell you that right there.
100%, baby.
100%. For the touchdown montage at the end? I do.
Definitely.
Even if it's a bad day, I still stay and watch. All right, waiver wire. Let's cut through this, Mike, real quick. Xavier picked up Scotty Miller, who for $6, who I think has been picked up at least 3 times in this league. He's probably had at least $30 spent on him, give or take, I imagine. Shout out Xavier. He needs help at receiver. He's got some guys out. I understand. Joe, our champ, picked up Harrison Bryant, Cleveland tight end. He had a big game last week. He had 2 touchdowns, $4. And Wayne Gallman, who plays for the New York Football Giants, $4. Devonta Freeman had a little bit of an injury last week, but they think he's going to get back. But why not take a chance, you know? Mike, you picked up the Tennessee Titan defense for $12. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same year you picked up the Saints defense for $18?
Yes, it is.
How do you feel about that? That's $30 on defenses.
Money, man. That's a lot of money.
Do you own Saints D right now or no?
Say that again? No, I don't. Of course not.
Oh, boy. Hey, it's all right. I picked up Ty Johnson for like $62 or $72. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
That's okay. Tennessee D, do you know who they play this week?
Cincinnati. That's why I kind of picked them up.
I like that. Joe Burrow may throw a pick.
You never know.
Malcolm Butler plays on that defense. All right, Ryan Hannigan. This guy is always going to be active on these waivers every week, whether it's $0 or $15. But he went with Rashad Higgins for Cleveland for $12. I'll tell you right now, I put 7 on this guy. ACL tear went. We talked about earlier for Danny. Odell Beckham Jr. is out. If I'm Danny, I'm probably putting $20 on Rashad Higgins. You got to get something back there. But shout out to Hannigan. He's playing the waivers like a fiend that he is. DJ Dallas.
Perfect pickup.
$1.
Amazing pickup. I wanted DJ Dallas. I was gonna put a bid on DJ Dallas, but I didn't want to drop anyone. And that sounds crazy, but I didn't want to drop anyone. So
I understand you. This is a maybe a week person, you know, like 1 week guy, a 1 week, 2 week rental, depending on the injury situation. Rashad Penny's still out for Seattle. Carson's out, and then Carlos Hyde may not be in either. So I understand the pickup, and for $1, you can't really beat it. And then Brandon McManus, who I still get alerts for on my phone because that was the original kicker I played with, $0 for the Denver Broncos. Danger Matt picked up Carlos Hyde for $40, Mike. $40. He said, I want it real bad. Give me that running back to value.
Okay, so I'll say this. If he did not have Chris Carson, I would say this is a terrible pickup.
Absolutely. 15 carries for 82 yards last week and a touchdown. He needed to secure that backfield, and that's what he did.
Right, yeah. I mean, the guy is injured, isn't he? He has a hamstring strain. I don't know if I would spend $40 on him, but he has Chris Carson, so I totally understand it. You got to do what you got to do.
I had me in here. I don't think I didn't pick anybody up because I lost on all mine. So let's move forward with Devin, who picked up Nelson Aguilar. We spoke on him earlier, Las Vegas, $3.
Great pickup.
Touchdown production's there. It kind of reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys receiver a few years back. Blanking on his name. He'd always get picked up and dropped because he scored random touchdowns.
Michael Gallup, is it?
No, before Michael Gallup.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. We're not going to sit here and stress over his name, but that guy would always score. We'd be like, "Do you pick him up? Yeah, pick him up, pick him up, pick him up." And it was just something like that. Nelson Aguilar, he's bounced around the league, former Philadelphia Eagle. He has deep threat potential, and he's also a slot guy. So I don't blame Devin. Get the depth. I like it. But all right, let's finish it out here, man, with the predictions. We're gonna save game of the week for last. Some guys have been telling me, hit us with some appetizers in the beginning and finish it off here strong. So we'll start with the appetizer. This is a potential rivalry game. I want to start there. At the beginning of the year, these two got into a pretty heated argument before the season started. And that's Piani, who's 3-4 on the season, who is favored to lose against Dave, who's 4-3 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, big matchup here. Dave on a 3-game win streak, Piani on a 1-game losing streak, but the closest loss ever, like I said, 0.46. It's awful.
Absolutely. So he would have been on a pretty big win streak as well. I like both these teams personally. I think these guys have depth. I think they have superstar players on their team. What's up with Kareem Hunt? That's not real, right?
Let's find out. I think he might be okay.
Yeah.
Hunt limited in practice. He's fine. Rib injury.
Okay. And then Higbee's going to play, it looks like. So, looking at all these players here in this lineup, I'm going to roll with Dave. He is favored to win pretty big here, and I can see it. He's going to need a big Monday night out of Tom Brady, and Derrick Henry's going to have to put up at least 30 for this to even matter. Blankenship is a sleeper kicker, though, who's done really well this year. But I'm going to roll with Dave.
Yeah, I'm also going to roll with Dave here. He has the Rams defense against Tua's first start in the NFL. And massacre, bro. I would not want to have my first start against the Rams. That's the worst team to have your first start against.
So you want to take the under on that game, points-wise? You don't think they get over 40 points combined?
I think Ryan Fitzpatrick gets back in the game. Can I put money on that?
Oh, wow. There's probably somewhere, some degenerates out there gambling that. But no, I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, dude. So we'll both roll with Dave there. Let's move on to the next matchup here. Should be the next one, I hope, up there for you. I'm trying to do this in order. Nate at 4-3 is playing Danny Yarconi at 3-4. Let's do some Coke game.
Yeah, huge game here.
Both these guys need to win, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Nate doesn't need to win as bad as Danny. I mean, they're 4-3, 3-4. It's like very close.
You want to separate yourself from the pack here,
right?
I think running backs, obviously, as you say, it's every week against Danny. Favor Nate. Allen Robinson may not play. He's in concussion protocol. Michael Thomas may not play. I like DK Metcalf better than Corey Davis.
For sure.
Jimmy Graham, I had money on him to score a touchdown. He did not do it last week. I think he's due for one. I went with Nate here. I'm going with Danny, bro. I'm going with Danny looking at this lineup. I don't agree with him.
I don't like. I mean, usually Baltimore's special teams is like unstoppable. They're gonna win for sure. But
they're playing Pittsburgh, dude. And they're undefeated.
Playing Pittsburgh. I know.
In the league.
I know. And Stephon Diggs, bro, is amazing. I mean, if he plays, he was hurt last game. I thought, but if he plays,
no, he played for me last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these are pushes. I would say like they're a push these positions, but I would say that I favor Danny by just a little bit.
Awesome. So we're both for Danny. 2 for 2 so far. Let's move forward. I have your game. Let's feature you. Ryan Hannigan 6-1 versus Mike 3-4. I call it the fake it till you make it game. Mike, you are out here upsetting these high-rated GMs who have just been tearing it up on the year. Do you see it happening again here?
I think anything is possible. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible, baby. Shout out KG.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean,
look at these projections for Hannigan.
I know.
I love it. They love it.
But if there's any week for me to beat him, it's on his bye week. So I'm gonna go ahead and take myself here.
I'm gonna bet against you here, and I'm gonna take Ryan Hannigan. Look at these projections. These projections are real.
I mean, he's 6-1 for a reason. This guy's team is amazing.
Ryan Hannigan, best GM in the league, finishes of the year. That'd be a shocker, man. Most improved into most valuable.
Yeah, I mean, could we be fair? Though? Could we be fair? Has he suffered any injuries? I'm not sure. I mean, this doesn't count. Jalen Reagor does not count. Like, has he really?
He's been pretty healthy. He's been pretty healthy on the year. I agree, and it's been fortunate.
He's been very fortunate. But yeah, he just looks really good lately.
I like him. Okay, finishing out here. This one's kind of a possible upset. We got Ryan Downs at 5-2. Is playing Xavier at 0-7. Can you believe it? Call this first win game? Question mark.
That's a big question mark. I mean, I can't go against both Ryans. I got to pick at least one Ryan here. So I'm gonna pick.
You got to get that right on the overall projections here. You want to make sure you got a good number at the end of the year. Yeah. You don't look too bad.
Yeah, it's a bad idea to disrespect both Ryans in the same week. So I'm definitely taking Ryan here.
He's starting Kelly.
I mean, what are you gonna do, bro? Like, do you see his lineup? Like, dude, what are you gonna do for him? You have nothing else to do.
Xavier, I want to vote for you, man, but you lost a couple starters since I've done this, and it's looking bleak, man. I'm also gonna roll with Ryan Downs.
All right, if you had to pick a player on this roster for Ryan Downs to get 3 touchdowns this week, who would it be?
Drew Brees? Or is that cheating?
No. That's on Xavier's. I'm talking about Ryan Downs, and that is cheating. So about Ryan Downs, here's Ryan Downs' roster. Flex all the way to running back.
Baby. Tyler Lockett. Huh? Tyler Lockett.
Back-to-back 3 touchdown weeks, you think?
Let's go.
I don't know about that.
Tyler Lockett or Jones would be my picks if Jones plays, but I know he's been a little beat up. Jonnu Smith is real. That's a real tight end. I
think it might be him.
Ago, but
I think it might be Jonnu Smith to get 3 touchdowns this week, or one of those running backs. Probably Aaron Jones, to be fair, if he plays.
I mean, that's Down's theme this year. Is I have a player who scores 3 touchdowns on my team in a given week.
Any given week.
All right, we're in consensus there. Jesse is 3-4, projected to beat Mikey in a big way.
Why is that?
Players on a bye. Scroll down, his whole bench is bye.
Yeah.
It's not looking good over there.
The entire Arizona team's on a bye.
If Jesse were to lose this game, what does that say about Jesse?
Ooh. I mean, it says that you need to start blowing it up. I mean, you got to blow it up. I think if you lose this week,
you think at 3-5 you make some moves?
100%.
Jesse doesn't really trade, man.
I made moves at 1 and 2. I was making moves at 1 and 2. I would start making moves if I was Jesse too, but I would trade Ezekiel Elliott. I mean,
you know what I should do? I should send Mikey a trade just to set his. No, this is in the other league. I mean, he's in another division. It doesn't matter to me. You know what though? This didn't work for me very much last year, but I'm going to bet against Jesse here. I'm going to take Mikey.
Really? That's a crazy pick. Nick Foles against New Orleans. Definitely. Yeah, I'm picking Jesse.
I already wrote it in. I figured so. This is a sleeper pick. This is me trying to bet against the grain here. It's probably like plus 350 if Mikey wins versus the minus like 120 for Jesse. So I'm gonna try to win some money here, and I'm gonna take Jesse. I'm gonna take Mikey, over Jesse.
I agree.
2 more here. We got the champ at 4-3 playing Matt at 2-5. My season is over game. That's what I call this one.
Yeah. 2-6 is hard to come back from, so he's got to win this week. He needs to win this week.
AJ Brown in his lineup, but he's got multiple guys who aren't playing. Scroll onto his bench. It's not looking good.
Yikes.
It's a bad week for him. Caught him with his pants down. Easy win for the champ here.
Yeah. I mean, Carlos Hyde could get in there.
There's no way you bet against the champ here.
No, you don't. I have to bet Joe here. Joe's gonna take it.
Yeah.
Who's Brian? Right. Oh, this is the guy that scored 2. Okay.
Yeah. That was a 2 tight end guy. He was good. $4 pickup. I like it. I like it. When you need help, you got to do it. But let's go to the game of the week. The Mamba 24 Division Championship game, as I call it. At 3-4, projected to lose to Devin at 5-2. This is a 2013 rematch of my only championship. I'm on a 3-game skid, like you said, and Devin's been very hot this year. I believe he took an L last week because of a couple injuries, but I'm betting on those 2 running backs not to play.
That's a huge call. If they both decide not to play, man, that's a huge call.
I'm betting against them, and I'm planning on starting the backup, who is the primary there in Boston Scott. What do you think of that Alvin Kamara 22.72? That's a nice projection to look at every week because he's the number 1 running back on the year. I got to say something about my team that's positive.
I mean, Chicago
put us these past 2 weeks, bro.
He's due, right? Chris Godwin's out.
He's due. I'm expecting 3 touchdowns, right? If you want to say somebody who scored 3 touchdowns on my team, I'd say Lamar Jackson. But if I'm going to say somebody next, I'm going to say Mike Evans.
Yeah.
He's due.
Monday night against the Giants, that probably takes you to the win that you need.
He's going to ball out, too. He ain't got nobody on Monday night.
And you got DJ Moore against Atlanta. That's going to light him up. I like your matchups. I do like your matchups.
If Crowder can't go, we're starting our guy.
James White?
No way, dude. He lost privileges. Right there, baby. Cole Beasley.
Jesus.
He's going to get his.
Can I say something that's going to sound slightly...
Yeah, go ahead.
Or stereotypical? No, it definitely sounds racist. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, you're going to say white receivers?
I am going to say it. We got a league full of degenerates. Is it wrong that sometimes I pair up, I just group together Cole Beasley's, Adam Humphries, Scotty Miller?
Oh, not at all.
It's just in my head.
Wes Welker.
Yeah, I just think of them all the same. I'm just like, oh, they're just possession receivers, and they get their points. They'll just get their PPR points. In my head, I'm just like, oh, that's just.
There used to be like the Chris Hogan types in the NFL that would ball out. They're a ball out. Finnegan, he's more of a tight end style receiver, but he was a receiver. Finnegan, if you remember back, I've been watching the Michael Vick documentary on ESPN 30 for 30. It's amazing. Really, really good quality. I would highly recommend somebody to watch. I don't know if I was like 16, 15 when this all happened. I didn't really appreciate it the way I do now. But not to get off topic, but Finnegan was one of his receivers. And Mike Vick's going to make anybody look good on his team. But he was that long, deep threat receiver. But you're right, Mike. That is a thing that Danny Amendola, you even forgot that guy. Those guys. Hunter Renfrow. You're so right. You're so right. Not taking anything away from these guys, but in a PPR league, I'm starting that dude happily.
It's like every team has one. Like every good team has one of those guys. Receiver. Your first down when you need it. It's just
funny. Who you got here though?
This is a close matchup, man. I love your matchups though, so I'm gonna go with you. Please don't let me.
Evan, take this L, bro. You don't need it. Let me get this. I'm trying to get this 100.
I mean, look, man. If these 2 guys play, Devin's probably gonna win. Let's be real. Like Jarvis Landry's stock just skyrocketed with Odell hurt.
Did it skyrocket or did it get worse because Nye didn't get all the coverage?
No, I think it definitely skyrocketed.
Yeah, it goes up. I'd be ecstatic if I'm. Devin's had some luck bounce this way this year, huh? We can say that.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
For him, some of his injuries have benefited his players. And Patrick Mahomes is a phenom.
Yes, it's true.
I want to say another thing. If Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Bears, he would have been terrible. Something really bad would have happened to him. I'm serious.
I totally agree with you. I think he would have started his first year, and he would have looked really bad.
It wouldn't have been the same. And that sucks because that's just what it goes for Chicago quarterbacks. It's just the way it is, bro. Bro, we're almost as bad as the Cleveland Browns in the sense of you can make that jersey and do the thing for the Bears. You could do it, Mike. I'm serious. That might be a big – there's your draft day idea. Draft day
there you go.
For all the Bears quarterbacks. I guarantee you somebody would love that, and you get a lot of votes. But unfortunately, no second take here. Sandusky hotline for us. Our guy who we had was not.
Wait, pause. Who are you taking? in this matchup?
Myself. I never bet against myself. I don't care if I'm 0-7. I'm betting again. I'm betting for me, baby.
All right, all right.
I knew I was going to lose to Hannigan, but I was like, deep down in your heart, you're like, if this happens, I have a shot. And that was the only time I was like, I would not vote for myself if money was on the line. But yeah, I'm taking me. But yeah, I think that's a solid game of the week. Divisions are very competitive this year. I like any other year. This has been an awesome one to watch, and there's only a couple teams that are really out of contention, and it's already week 8, so that says a lot about our league. We do play till week 12. We all know that, and then week 13 is that wild card week where what is it? The top 8 get in, and then 9, 10, 11, 12 all play to get that week 14, week 1 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is a close one. I love to see the fact that most of us, except for Xavier and Hannigan, are pretty close in records. This is awesome to see. In week 8 that we're so close in records: 3-4, 3-4, 4-3, 5-2. I mean, it's a close one. It's a close one here. This is going to be a crazy year, and I'm looking to see how it plays out.
Absolutely.
Anyone's game here.
Yep. I'll be working this Sunday, so I'll be watching from work. I'll have the red zone on my phone. But best of luck to all GMs, and of course you, Mike. I think you got a good shot this week against Hannigan.
I think you do too. You gotta destroy that win streak, that losing streak. I mean,
yeah, I gotta shed that real quick. That's a bad look on me.
It's not a good look.
But I'll have you know, I'm doing swell in the other 2 leagues. I believe I am 6-1 and 5-2 in my other money leagues. So that's positive.
Would you rather be 0-7 in both of those leagues and 7-0 in this league?
Yes, I would trade in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Yes. Sign it up 100%. I would give up everything in the other leagues. I would. Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's not a factor of me not paying enough attention. I put this league first. If there's a queue, what I'm saying? My queue, this league is number 1 every single time. Obviously, when we're doing a freaking YouTube video for this league, we care. We care what happens here first. And I'm just happy it's been a competitive year, like you said. I love this league, and I know these guys do too. So, but I think this one's pretty long-winded. We can go ahead and wrap it up here. Week 8, Mike. Any last words?
No. Stop disrespecting the Ryans.
Yes, put respect on their names.
Yes.
And shout out Herman. Shout out Justin.
Shout out Herman.
Quarterback of the future, baby. He looks a lot better than Mitch Trubisky right now. I'll tell you that.
Sunshine, baby, sunshine.